yes, looking nice. Yes, it's a vanity. I admit it. I have no right to be vain. Like, this is what I got. This is the face I got. It's not, crooked eyes, crooked teeth. Who cares, right? But you've got to make the best of what you've got while you can. Let's talk about skincare and skincare on a budget. So my name is Colette. I'm 60 years old and I try to take care of my skin. I didn't always take care of my skin like most people. When I was young, I didn't wear sunscreen. I burnt the bejesus out of my skin, and I used to smoke from the age of 13 to 33. Pretty much I smoked, and I smoked heavily. I've lived in London a good part of my life with all the pollution that entailed back in the day, and lots of other things. Oh, very poor diet when I was younger, really dreadful diet actually when I was younger. I've been quite overweight, I've been quite skinny, and I've been all sorts in between. So yeah, I haven't I haven't done my skin any favors whatsoever in my younger days anyway. In more recent years, as age starts to show and you start to think, oh, I don't look like I feel, the usual thing, I've taken more care. So my skincare routine, generally speaking, is now super cheap, super frugal, and I think is pretty effective. But I have also done some expensive things. So let me tell you the expensive stuff that I've done so that I'm above board and honest. I've never had a facelift. I would definitely consider having one now as I'm starting to show. That's another topic for another day. I have never had or used Botox, never had filler. The only treatments really that I've done in a beautician's are intense pulsed light and broadband light. About 10 years ago in Australia, I got a Groupon thing for I think $100, which is about 50 quid, and I think I had a couple of sessions of IPL, and it definitely did seem to brighten my skin up. But I had a lot of broken veins, and I've still got some on my chin, which if I go close up, which is awful. You'll see them. On this side of my face, I had a really big broken vein that sort of ran down the side. It was awful around the sides of my nose, and I think I've still got some on the sides of my nose, and yeah, and some on my cheeks as well, and my forehead. I mean, I had them everywhere, but some would say it looked like rosacea. I don't think I have rosacea. I don't get the pustules or the dry, cracked skin, but it might be rosacea. I don't know. I think it was just sun damage in truth. But I also, at the age of 40, it seemed to happen overnight. All of my neck was red all around here, and then there'd be like this white bit here. So you could see it was sun damage because that's the bit that doesn't ever see the sun. But this was all around here, and all of my décolletage area here as well just got redder and redder and redder. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And I'm not a makeup wearer. I never wore foundation. I think once or twice I put it on, but I hated the feeling of that clagginess on my skin. Anyway, I discovered IPL and I had the cheap sessions, and it made a little bit of a difference. But as I did more research, I realized that you get what you pay for. Not all IPL is equal. You need to go to a company that changes the bulbs that they use on a frequent basis, because the more they use them, the less powerful they become. So I found a place in Perth. I think it was Skin Central. I can't remember the company. And I booked a few sessions, and I can't remember how much I paid either. And it wasn't cheap. It would have been probably £500 for several sessions. But they were brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant. It totally changed how my skin looked. I mean, it got rid of all the redness, which some of it would come back, some of those little broken veins, the blood finds other ways to annoy you. But it also helped to sort of smooth the skin out and take away some of the crepiness that was starting to sneak in from years of smoking and years of sun damage. So initially I just did my face, and then I thought, oh, this has worked well. So then I paid for extra sessions to get my, they call it face, neck and deck. So all this area and my décolletage done. And you could see areas where they'd been more thorough than others. So there was almost like a bit of a stripe of really beautiful smooth skin, and then some areas that were still a bit crepey, which after a few sessions it sort of evened it out. So that was fantastic. And then I started to research or continue just reading about things like that, and then discovered something called BBL, which is broadband light, which is more powerful than intense pulse light. When I moved back to the UK, I decided, because I'm one of those people that I have everything I could want. Like there really isn't anything that I want for. I don't need a lot of things. So I decided for the Christmas that year, and it was about 2 years ago, I thought, why not treat yourself to some sessions of broadband light? And I can't remember how much I paid. It might have been £1,500 for 3 sessions. It was a lot of money. I mean, I completely get that is an outrageous amount of money to spend on something it's just a vanity project. But I decided to give it a go, just to see. Nowhere near as painful as intense pulse light, which feels like somebody's thwacked a hot elastic band on your face every few seconds. Very unpleasant. Not agony, but unpleasant. So the broadband light is not as painful. It can get quite intense, sort of near the bony parts of the face. But yeah, look, it really, again, it helped to smooth out some of the crepiness that was there. It definitely got rid of some of the redness, or a lot of the redness, and some of it does keep coming back on my chin. But you know, not perfect. Made a massive difference on my neck. First session was good. The second session, I had a girl who, because I'd already had one session, they were willing to turn the thing up a lot. I can take quite a lot on my face, so the girl that saw me the second time, I just said, look, go as hard as you can because I want maximum benefit. But also I got her to sort of go more into this cleavage part of my skin, because that's the bit that I hate it. If you can see any cleavage, it just suddenly looks like you got old lady bits, you know. I know. I shouldn't care, but I do. I can't help it. We all care, don't we? We all care. And anyway, the girl did that, and she really kind of, because a lot of them would do this bit, but kind of not give a lot of love to this bit. And I can feel this bit is definitely more crepey than this. Anyway, the girl did a phenomenal job, and yeah, my skin is much smoother all over this area now. And I have one more session left, but you can't have IPL or BBL treatments while you've got any suntan at all. So if you've been out and you catch the sun, that's it, you can't go, because the light, the laser sort of thing, well, it's not laser, but the treatment focuses on any darker areas. So if you have sunburn or suntan, it, yeah, you'll do yourself a damage. So that's one thing to bear in mind. It probably isn't right for every skin type. I just happen to be fortunate to have Irish skin with an English accent. That's effectively it. I am blue, you know. I mean, I will tan if I go out and I'm careful, but I have to say I don't even try and tan. I will cover up rather than get a suntan. I am fine being pale skinned, and I've seen the damage. You know, my tummy has very rarely seen the light, and it's a very youthful flesh there. It's a very flabby flesh there. Anyway, we won't talk about that. That's the very expensive stuff that I've done. I have, over the years, bought expensive potions and lotions and creams and listened to all of the hype and the marketing. But I've not found that any of those things really make a lot of difference. That I bought some Retin A online from an Indian chemist years ago, and that really made a difference. I mean, that gave me the peels. It peeled, all my skin peeled, and yeah, it was incredibly fresh underneath. But that pharmacy has since, I think, probably been taken over. You try and buy anything from them now, and yeah, they seem well dodgy. So I don't use them anymore. I bought some retinol from The Ordinary, which is this company here. This retinol and squalene. really good. I found that, but I found my skin became really sensitive to it, and it would just get really itchy and sort of not hives, but just really unbearable itchiness for a while. So I kind of had to lay off that. But I did get in a beauty box this Bioma one, which is for sensitive skin, and I found that kind of gradually made my skin kind of accept the retinol. Now I can use the other one. So yeah, this one's a sensitive retinol oil, and it came in a beauty box, either a Boots or a Marks and Spencer's one. I found the Bioma stuff. I've only used 2 products, but I've really liked them. Really decent. So that helped. So, and now I use the ordinary retinol probably every other night or every 3 nights, if I remember. I go through phases where I don't put anything on my skin for absolutely, because I'm just too lazy. Another product I use, I bought this from Lidl. It was £2.99. It's a vitamin C serum, and I put it on after I shower, and I find it good. It's a little bit tacky, if you like, but it's good. I do use other things. I use a sunscreen. Any sunscreen will do. Factor 30 minimum, factor 50 preferably. I use this Bioma Factor 50. I keep it in my handbag. It is tiny. It's great. I got it in a beauty box again. I think it might have been a Marks and Spencer's one. It comes out and it's super, super thin for a Factor 50, which makes me question, is it a Factor 50? But I've got to say, whenever I put it on, I haven't burnt, as long as I'm not out for too long. But it's great. I can carry it around, and it's lovely and thin and light, and it rubs in and doesn't leave that white cast on your face. So I would highly recommend that. Bioma SPF 50 ultralight face fluid. The stuff that I use on my face after I've showered and on my body is, I make up a mixture. I make up a jar of oil. This is a jar of mixed oils. I use sweet almond, some evening primrose, some jojoba, and some castor oil. I've got this castor oil from Iceland, the supermarket of all places. It's in like a grocery section. I don't know if every Iceland has it or whether it's just my local one. It's a bit of an odd thing because it's not a food grade. So I use that. So I use 2 tablespoons of that into a jar like this, 4 tablespoons of the sweet almond oil, 4 tablespoons of the evening primrose, and 4 tablespoons of the jojoba oil. And it all goes into there, and it's a nice loose mixture, because if you've ever used castor oil, you will know that stuff is really thick and viscous, and it just takes ages to sink into the skin. It's incredible on the skin. I have to say, I started using it on my hands about a month or 2 months ago, before I'd purchased all these other oils. I was putting on castor oil onto my arms, legs, face, eyebrows. That's a whole other story. The appearance of my hands has dramatically improved. Now, it's tricky, because when I say the appearance of my hands has improved, it hasn't made them less ugly. I have ugly hands. I have very small, very veiny hands. That's just always been like it. Even as a little girl, I remember looking around all the other kids in class, in assembly, when they were all standing there, and everybody else had nice, normal, smooth hands, and I had these great big veins on these tiny little hands. So yeah, unfortunate, but there you go. But they'd started to look, in recent years, every day of my 60 years, like every day of them, and some, and I'm not one of those people that's constantly washing my hands or washing up all day long. You know, I have a dishwasher. I will rinse things out with a little scourer and a tiny bit of soap on the scourer, but I don't put my hands in hot dishwashing water. That's just not something I need to do. So there's no reason for my hands, apart from excess sun damage, there's no reason why my hands should have looked that old, but they were looking horrid. And I found that the castor oil has made a massive difference. I mean, the skin is just so much smoother. I mean, I will always be veiny, but I mean, you can see it's wrinkly there. You know, I mean, I'm 60. You know, what do you expect? But the skin is just better, and even the skin on my arms is better. Skin on my body is better. But it was a bit sort of like sticky. You know, you kind of go to bed sort of feeling sticky. Whereas this mixture is great. You put it on the skin and you can feel your skin just absorbing it, and it sinks in, and my skin is so soft now. I put it on my face, all over my eyelids, all around there, under my neck, back of my neck, and I even put it in my hair. And that's why my hair is scraped back at the moment, because I have put it in my hair, and I'm going to have a shower very soon, just to, yeah, see, look, it is me, same messy hair as you always see. So yes, that is that. If you do put a treatment in your hair, you must condition after you've washed it out. And I can't remember why, but I remember reading that on a beauty forum years ago. So I always use conditioner in my hair after I've done a hair treatment. This little jar cost £7.38 to make up when I add up the value of the oils per mil. So that's one of the cheap things that I do. And that little jar of oil, that is enough oil for moisturizing my whole body, doing my face and hair treatments for at least a month, maybe even 2. And I think that's pretty good value, given it's good stuff. It's not junk. The other thing that I do, I make myself a body scrub, and I use 2 tablespoons of yogurt. Any yogurt, ideally yogurt, plain yogurt. Don't do something with strawberries and bananas or something in it, because that would be weird. Any yogurt though, which has got active bacteria, friendly bacteria in it, would do. So 2 tablespoons of yogurt, around about a tablespoon of sugar, any sugar will do, a couple of teaspoons of ground coffee, and I've been breaking in half of a soluble aspirin. I'm not sure what difference that makes. It's sort of a salicylic acid. So the yogurt is lactic acid, the sugar is glycolic acid, the salicylic, you can use willow bark powder. You can buy willow bark powder online. But yeah, ground coffee, if you make your own coffee, use instant coffee, just a teaspoon of instant coffee granules even into that mixture. Just let it all dissolve, rub it all over, put it all over your arms, your face, your neck, your legs, and let it dry on. It will get sticky. You'll feel it being all tacky. And then just give it sort of 20 minutes and then get in the shower and wash it all off. And you will feel how much fresher your skin is. And I'll put in the description, I'll put those ingredients of both the body oil thing that I use and hair treatment. And hello from future me. I have had a shower and I've washed all the oil out of my hair. I gave it a double wash and then I conditioned it and left the conditioner in for a minute or two, and then rinse that out, and I've just towel dried it. I haven't had a blow dryer to it, just let it dry naturally. And it feels so soft, so incredibly soft. The only other products that I've ever used that make it feel like this are, I used a Philip Kingsley elasticizer and left that in overnight once, and then I had a small sample of a Weleda hair mask conditioner that both of which I got them in a Christmas beauty box a couple of years ago, and they left my hair feeling like this. And of course this is much cheaper. And I was thinking about it as well, that little jar cost me about £7 to make with the oils. It's the evening primrose oil that's the most expensive, so you could either leave that out entirely, the most important bit is the jojoba oil and the sweet almond, really. They're the two that I think you really do need. And the castor oil as well, just a bit of that, just to kind of work their magic. I think the evening primrose oil was just a nice to have, but half the value of that jar was the evening primrose. If you're looking to do something nice and you want to go a little bit cheaper, I would suggest cutting the evening primrose out or just using less of it. The company I buy the oils from is a company called Mystic Moments. I used to use a company called New Directions, and they appear to have been bought out by Mystic Moments. So I took a punt, ordered it, and I'm very happy with A, the quality, and B, the standard of the service. You can buy small bottles. You don't have to buy 1 litre bottles of sweet almond oil. I'm sure you can get a much smaller version than that. You could probably get all the oils that you need for about £20 or £25, and they would last you such a long time. There you go. That's a little bargain to tell you about. Okay, back to old me with the oily hair. Body scrub. Right, I hope you found that useful, and if you have other tips and things that you've tried that you think are effective, let me know, because I'm always interested in learning something new, and if it's a bargain, I want to know about it. Thank you everyone that's liked and subscribed, and to those of you that have left comments, oh, it means the world. It means the world to me.